There's a camera that I've owned for years now that I absolutely love, and that's the Fuji X-T3. Today I want to tell you about my experience with it. At the time when I came across this camera, I had been using the same gear for 3 or 4 years, and I was getting a little bit tired of it. I wanted to get a new feel for photography and just inspire some sort of creativity. And that's when I came across the X-T3. What attracted me to this camera in the first place was the design. If you look in the top, you can see all the dials with all of the settings, and it's just a very different design than I was used to with Canon. It felt more like a film camera, and that's kind of what I was looking for, but with the added benefit of it being digital, so I didn't have to pay all this money to buy film and process film, which was nice. The lens setup that I've used on this is primarily just the 18-55mm 2.8 to f4, and I've loved that lens. It's basically covered everything that I've needed it for, and at times I've rented a 35 1.4, which has been really awesome. I love that lens as well. So I didn't buy this for professional photography. I bought this for more documenting my life, for street photography, for just messing around, having a camera on me when it didn't really make sense to carry around my Canon 1DX gigantic camera, and just be able to document more casual moments of life. And that's exactly what this thing has been so helpful for. The first way this camera helped me improve my photography was just in the intentionality of taking the photo. If you look at the dials on the top, it takes a little bit longer to think about what you're doing. I shoot everything in manual, and so I always want to know where all my settings are. And the way that this camera's designed has forced me to take a little bit more time to fix my settings, to really understand what I'm trying to shoot. And with that extra friction has come more intentionality in my photos. It's made me pause, take a step back, and really look at the composition or the framing of what I'm doing. And in that way, it's helped me improve my photography a lot. Another thing I've loved about this camera is the built-in film presets that it comes with. It comes with 10 presets that you can switch through live in camera, and 3 black and white presets, which I found really helpful if I'm trying to analyze light and shadow. I'll just switch into those. I can see them live through the viewfinder. So shooting in that way has allowed me to achieve a different vibe or a different feel to the photos without only post-processing. The other really cool thing about these presets is that if you shoot in RAW, you can actually go into Lightroom in post and switch the presets in post. So say if I shoot something in the Acros preset, which is a black and white, I can go into Lightroom afterwards and bring back the color. I can basically make any sort of photo that I want with it, but in camera, I can see it as black and white. So for me, cameras have always just been a way for me to express my creativity. And the feeling that I get when I'm shooting with the X-T3 is very different from the feeling that I get when I'm shooting on my Canon gear. And I feel much more like a street photographer, like a fly on the wall when I'm using this camera. There's a certain film aspect of the Fuji brand that I really love. And even though this is a digital camera, I've found that the creativity that I feel just by using it, the way it's designed, the way that it shoots, even the sound of it, it makes me think about the photos that I'm taking differently. And that's why I got this camera in the first place. A lot of people will say that gear doesn't matter, and to some extent I agree. Gear should not determine what type of things you shoot or how good you get at photography, but sometimes the different types of gear that you use can invoke different feelings while using them. And that's definitely the case with this camera. That alone has made it worth the purchase for me. To me, it feels more casual, feels more fun, it's more creative, and I know that I can take this into any situation and get a really good quality shot with it. Everything about this camera, from the way it's designed to how small it is to the way that it shoots, lends itself to documenting life. And that's something that I really enjoy as a photographer, something that I'll probably never stop doing. And this camera has made that process so much easier and so much more fun. So if you're thinking about getting a new Fuji and you don't want to get the X-T5 because maybe it's too expensive or whatever your reason is, the X-T3 is a really good option. If you're looking at it, I would really recommend getting a 24mm just so that it's kind of feels more like a point and shoot or a Leica. It's really fun. But like I said, the 18-55 is amazing. The 35 is amazing. No matter what you get with this camera, it's going to be a really quality experience. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's not the most technical review of a camera, but it's just my experience with it over the last 3 years. I've really enjoyed shooting with it, and I think I'll keep it for a long time. So if you enjoyed this, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be making more videos about photography, filmmaking, just anything fun that I'm interested in. So I'd really appreciate you following along on the journey, and thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. Have a fantastic week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.